I'm so frustrated, you guys. This has actually been going on for a month. I've had this little Braille Sense, my precious little reed. We thought it was a U2 Mini. But I was kind of questioning, is this a plus? What is it? It's a mini for sure. He's a tiny little thing. But what is he exactly? I recorded where I finally figured out what he was. I actually ended up looking in his help menu and found out what kind of Braille Sense he was. I didn't actually record that, but I just kind of turned the recorder on and said, so that's what he is. And I tried to research how old he was. Turned out he's like at least 12 years old, if not older. So it's no wonder he has his shortfalls, his shortcomings. But what I'm getting at is I recorded all that and I was like, okay, I'll put that with, when I finally make up my mind what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to put that together with this, and that's the part 2 of this video. Here I am ready to set this video up. I cannot find that footage, you guys. I don't know what has happened to that footage. I've looked in the My Documents folder. I've looked on my USB drive. Either it's here and I called it something else and I am not finding it, or it just got deleted somewhere along the line. YouTuber mistakes when you live life as it is and vlog as it is and post your videos a month in the past. I mean, it just happens, I'm sure. But all I can do now is say that I figured out what this Braille Sense was, and I wish I still had that footage. Maybe I do, but I can't find it, and I'm not going to wait any longer to finalize this. So I figured out what this was. Just, it took this long to either call this guy, and I mean, I think I called him a time or two over that month and got his voicemail and just wasn't in the mood to talk into voicemail. So I hung up on his voicemail, finally called him, got him, talked to him, and now I'm ready to finish this. So here's as much of a part 2 video as you're going to get, I guess. If I had the footage, you would have had a better video, but I apparently don't, and it's just going to have to be what it is. Sorry it's taken me so long to call you about that Braille Sense. So I've been able to get it working. It actually turns out to be an on-hand, not a U2. But, you know, I'll probably go ahead and keep it. I've been knowing for a long time that I've wanted to get rid of this Polaris. But I guess my question is, do I hold on to this on hand, or do I push for a U2 Mini? Of course, my financial situation still hasn't changed. I can't really buy a U2 Mini, but what do I think of the on hand after I've worked with it for a little while? I think it's a great little machine. It's got the word processor and the voice that I need. You know, good old trustable, old faithful. What I'm struggling whether to put up with or insist on better than is the fact that he can't read anything larger than 32 gigs as far as like SD cards, and it can't handle. I tried putting a 128 gig SD card in, and it made the noise as if it went in, but every time I tried to call it up, you know, access that drive, it just didn't. It acted like it wasn't there. I haven't done a whole lot with USB drives, although my computer could acknowledge I could treat the Braille Sense itself like a drive, and stick it into my computer and kind of lean heavily on the computer. I definitely like the on-hand better than the Polaris. I'll say that for sure. Okay. All right, great. Well, thanks for, as far as I'm concerned, he's an acceptable backup, for, like, in a pinch, which hopefully I shouldn't have for a while, because after everything these U2's been through, as far as repairs, he should be able to hold up for a while. But if something goes wrong, you know, I've got a 32 gig SD card in the on hand right now, and in terms of word processing and reading, and you know, he'll get the job done. Okay, thanks. Bye. So he said, well, obviously I didn't even know what that thing was. I thought it was a YouTube Mini. Why don't you just keep that thing? I don't have any use for it. Just go ahead and keep the Polaris, keep the on hand or whatever it is. And so what's going to happen is I am going to keep the on hand. I didn't really want to get rid of it anyway, just because, you know, some of the most important things to me in a Braille sense are there. You know, in a pinch, as long as my laptop is working, I can manipulate what's on the Braille sense using my computer. It's not ideal, but it's definitely better than having the Polaris, which I don't like. I kind of wish they'd just take the Polaris, but I might need the Polaris down the line if I finally decide to go ahead and try the 6, give it a chance. The 6... The 6 will never have the read voice, probably. And there's nothing the company that makes Braille senses can do about that. They're counting on the Google App Store to have those voices, which it no longer does. So, but now that the 6 is able to, for example, access Dropbox, access Dropbox, access email, maybe if I can get past the fact that I would have to write in Unified English Braille, which I'm not crazy about, and the fact that it will read in a voice that I don't particularly like, maybe I could have it just as a business machine. But there has to be funds to afford. A machine-to-machine trade, trading in a Braille Sense Polaris for a Braille Sense 6 just can't happen without some amount of money. Several $1,000s. If and when I ever come up with that, I've got his number. Until then, I'll just keep both of them, I guess. Use the on-hand if and when I need to send the U2 back, which won't happen for a good while. Little Reed U2 over here, my old faithful, he just had a mass repair, 6 months ago, 5 months ago? He's good to go for a while. I've got my U2, I've got my on-hand, I've got my Polaris that I'm keeping in hopes that one day I'll be able to afford to use it to help me afford to give maybe the 6 a chance if I get my hands on a 6 for a while and try it and decide I like it. Because, even if I got my hands on a 6, even if I borrowed somebody's 6 and played with it and decided, oh, I love this. As I said before, you can't just do a machine-to-machine trade. What will happen is you will be expected to pay $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for a 6. And then you'll say, well, I've got a Polaris. And then the price of the 6 will go from, $7,000 to $5,000 maybe. Without multiple thousands of dollars, the whole acquisition of a 6 just doesn't happen. The bottom line is these devices are priced with the expectation that government agencies will buy them for people, and that doesn't always happen. I came to peace a long time ago with the fact that the acquisition of a Braille sense cannot happen based on employment for me. And if it can't happen based on employment, the state government agency that helps blind people get and keep jobs will not put that kind of money into a Braille sense purchase. So I can't expect my state rehab agent to authorize that purchase. I've got to come up with it myself. And maybe at some point I will actually be the kind of person that makes that kind of money. I don't know when or how that'll ever happen, but one day, maybe somehow it'll happen. But in the meantime, I've got my U2, I've got my on-hand, I've got my 2 machines that I'm happiest with, and that's really all I'm going to be able to have right now in terms of Braille senses. I do have a laptop that I'm using right now to record this, and I need him to hold up because there are plenty of things that he can do that the Braille senses can't do. You know, I've had enough, false alarms with that guy. I don't expect him to die on me anytime soon, but if anything does happen to him, you know, it's occurred to me, maybe I need to think about getting another one of these as a backup. But backups. Now I'm just rambling. You know, thanks for watching. I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching / listening. Check out anv.me, my new website, annev.me. Check out Aira, check out Shipped, check out everything in the description box below that you feel compelled to check out. And you'll hear from me in the next video. Bye. Now, how do you stop a gold wave recording? I never remember.